You've probably walked past a fruit stand 1,000 times without thinking twice. But somewhere in the world right now, someone is paying more for a single melon than you'd pay for a car. Today, we're counting up to the most expensive fruits on Earth. And number one will make your grocery bill look like pocket change. Sekai Ichi apple. You think an apple is an apple, right? Something you toss in a lunch bag for 50 cents. Well, in Japan, a single Sekai Ichi apple sells for over $20 each. The name literally means world's number one, and these apples earn it. They grow to the size of a small melon, weighing up to 2 pounds apiece. Why so expensive? Every single apple is hand-pollinated with a small wand, washed in honey, and hand-stamped before it ever reaches a shelf. Farmers inspect them one by one, and anything with the slightest blemish never makes it to market. The variety was developed in Aomori Prefecture back in 1974, in a region that treats fruit growing like fine craftsmanship. In Japan, these aren't snacks, they're gifts. Perfect fruit is a traditional present for bosses, in-laws, and business partners, which is why presentation matters as much as taste. And here's the kicker. Each apple is sold individually wrapped, cradled in protective foam like a piece of jewelry. But if $20 for an apple sounds wild, wait until you see what happens when farmers start growing fruit inside boxes. Square watermelon. You'd assume a square watermelon is some kind of Photoshop trick. It's not. These perfectly cube-shaped watermelons are real, and they sell for anywhere from $200 to $800 each. The secret is simple but labor-intensive. Farmers place young melons inside tempered glass boxes while they're still on the vine, and the fruit grows into the shape of its container. Here's the strange part. Most of them aren't even ripe. They're harvested early to hold the perfect cube shape, which means they're grown almost purely for decoration. The idea was born in Kagawa Prefecture, Japan, in the 1970s, supposedly so melons could fit neatly into refrigerators. But the novelty value quickly outgrew the practical purpose. Today, only a few hundred are produced each year, and most end up as luxury display pieces in high-end department stores and hotel lobbies. Some collectors buy them purely as conversation pieces that slowly become very expensive compost. And if paying hundreds for a watermelon you can't eat sounds absurd, the next fruit takes 2 whole years to grow, in a country famous for rain. Heligan pineapple. Heligan pineapples. Pineapples are cheap. You can grab one for $3 at any supermarket. So how could a pineapple possibly be worth over $1,500? Because this one is grown in England, without any modern heating. At the Lost Gardens of Heligan in Cornwall, gardeners grow pineapples using a Victorian technique that relies on trenches filled with fresh horse manure. As the manure decomposes, it generates natural heat, creating a tropical microclimate in the middle of the British countryside. This method dates back to the 1700s, when a homegrown pineapple was the ultimate status symbol for European aristocrats, so precious that people would rent pineapples just to display at dinner parties. Each Heligan pineapple takes up to 2 years of daily care to produce. The gardeners rarely sell them. Most are eaten by staff or given as gifts, which makes the few that reach auction even more valuable. One was estimated to be worth over £10,000 when you factor in the labor. From a fruit that takes 2 years, let's move to a mango that comes with its own security detail. Taio no Tamago mango. You've had mangoes, sweet, cheap, sold by the crate in summer. But in Miyazaki, Japan, a pair of mangoes called Taio no Tamago, egg of the sun, sold at auction for over $4,000. To qualify for that name, each mango must weigh at least 350 grams and contain a sugar content of 15% or higher. Anything less gets rejected. The reason for the price is obsessive cultivation. Each mango grows inside its own tiny protective net, suspended in the greenhouse so sunlight hits every side of the fruit evenly. When the mango is perfectly ripe, it drops naturally into the net. It's never picked by hand. The brand launched in the early 2000s as part of Miyazaki's push to revive its farming economy, and it worked spectacularly. The first auction of each season is a media event in Japan, with buyers competing for bragging rights. Local restaurants that win the auction display the mangoes before serving them, turning a piece of fruit into a marketing campaign. And believe it or not, that famous auction tradition gets even crazier with our next fruit. A watermelon so rare it's black. Denske watermelon. You think watermelons are red inside and green outside? The Denske watermelon breaks half that rule. Its rind is jet black, smooth, and stripeless like a bowling ball, and one sold at auction for $6,000. This variety grows only on the island of Hokkaido, Japan, and only around 10,000 are harvested each year. The volcanic soil and cool climate give it an unusually crisp texture and a distinct sweetness that farmers insist can't be replicated anywhere else. Denske watermelons were first promoted in the 1980s as a way to support local agriculture in the town of Toma, and scarcity did the rest. Each melon is inspected, graded, and shipped in a fitted box with a certificate of authenticity. Most sell for $200 to $300. It's the first of the season auction melons that reach jaw-dropping prices, because in Japan, buying the year's first harvest is considered good luck and great publicity. One winning bidder was a supermarket that displayed the melon like a trophy before slicing it for customers. But even a $6,000 watermelon can't compete with a single bunch of grapes worth more than a motorcycle. Ruby Roman grapes. Grapes are the fruit you eat mindlessly by the handful. Now imagine each grape costing more than $400. That's the math on Ruby Roman grapes, after a single bunch sold at auction for around $12,000. Each grape is the size of a ping-pong ball, deep red, and must meet brutal standards, at least 20 grams per grape and 18% sugar content. The premium class, where every grape exceeds 30 grams, sometimes produces only a handful of qualifying bunches in an entire year. The variety took 14 years to develop and debuted in Ishikawa Prefecture in 2008, instantly setting price records. Growers thin each bunch by hand, removing dozens of grapes so the remaining ones grow enormous. For most buyers, a bunch of Ruby Romans is the centerpiece of a once-in-a-lifetime celebration, or a very public statement by a hotel or restaurant. In some years, fewer bunches qualify for the top grade than there are days in the month. And yet, even these record-breaking grapes bow before the undisputed king of luxury fruit. Yubari King melon. You'd never guess that the most expensive fruit ever sold looks like an ordinary cantaloupe. But in 2019, a pair of Yubari King melons sold at auction for $45,000. That's more than $22,000 per melon. The Yubari King grows only in Yubari, a small former coal mining town in Hokkaido, where volcanic soil and dramatic temperature swings between day and night concentrate the fruit's sugars. Each melon is pampered beyond belief. Farmers massage them, polish them, and even fit them with tiny hats to prevent sunburn. The perfectly round shape and flawless T-shaped stem are mandatory for top grade. The melon became the town's lifeline after the coal mines closed in the 20th century, transforming Yubari from a dying mining town into the capital of luxury fruit. The first auction of every season is national news in Japan, and the winning bid functions as advertising. Companies pay fortunes knowing the headlines are worth more than the melons. Here's the wildest part. The record-setting pair was bought by a fruit packaging company, meaning someone spent $45,000 partly to promote boxes, so the next time you complain about grocery prices, remember, somewhere out there, a melon just outsold your monthly rent. Which of these fruits would you actually try if money didn't matter? Drop your pick in the comments, and if this video blew your mind, subscribe for more of the world's most unbelievable facts. See you in the next one.